You send the messages. You go on the dates. You try to be the nice guy, the one who listens, the one who's respectful. But it feels like you're a ghost in the dating world, completely invisible to the women you're actually interested in. You see other guys who don't seem to be trying half as hard, getting all the attention. Meanwhile, your phone is silent and your weekends are empty. You start to wonder, what is wrong with me? You feel overlooked, undervalued, and completely, utterly invisible. What if I told you that this feeling of invisibility has almost nothing to do with your looks, your height, or how much you make? And what if I told you that being a good, decent guy isn't the problem at all? The real problem is a set of subconscious signals you're sending out, signals that broadcast neediness, low status, and a lack of belief in yourself. These are the silent, invisible mistakes that are making you forgettable. But here's the good news. This isn't a life sentence. This is not some unchangeable flaw in who you are. In fact, this is a problem a lot of great guys are facing. The modern dating world, especially with dating apps, has become a brutal environment. Some analyses suggest that the most desired 10 to 20% of men get a massively disproportionate amount of attention, leaving the majority of guys feeling like they're shouting into a void. It's a system practically designed to make you feel inadequate, so you keep swiping, keep paying, and keep hoping. But we're not going to hope, we're going to act. By the end of this, you won't just understand why you feel invisible. You're going to have a concrete, step-by-step roadmap to finally be seen for the high-value man you are. We're going to turn that invisibility cloak into a spotlight. The first and most fundamental fix has nothing to do with the words you say, the car you drive, or the job you have. It starts with the energy you project into a room before you even say a single word. This is your presence. Most men who feel invisible are leaking low-status energy without even knowing it. This energy comes from unprocessed emotional baggage, a deep-seated fear of rejection, and a lack of core confidence. Think about it. When you walk into a coffee shop, are your shoulders slumped? Is your gaze glued to the floor, trying to take up as little space as possible? When you talk to someone, is your body angled away like you're ready to bolt at any second? This is the body language of an apology. It's a physical way of thinking. I hope I'm not bothering you. And women, who are highly attuned to nonverbal cues, can feel this from across the room. It's not a conscious thought like, this guy lacks confidence. It's a gut feeling. They can't feel you, so you become forgettable. Mastering your presence is about changing your inner state to change your outer expression. It starts with your posture. Stand up straight. Pull your shoulders back and down. Hold your head high, as if a string is pulling you up from the top of your head. This isn't about puffing your chest out like a gorilla. It's about occupying your space with a calm, grounded authority. It signals to the world, and more importantly, to yourself, that you have a right to be here. You are not an intrusion. The next layer is your eye contact. Men who feel invisible often have shifty, avoidant eyes. They'll glance at a woman they find attractive, and the second she might look back, their eyes dart away. This signals fear and shame. The fix is to practice what I call slow eyes. Let your gaze be relaxed and steady. When you're talking to someone, hold their gaze. When you walk down the street, look ahead, not at your feet. Make eye contact with people you pass and give a simple, confident nod. This small act trains your brain to get comfortable with being seen. Finally, it's about your physical state. A healthy lifestyle isn't just for looks. It's about how you feel. Regular exercise, a clean diet, and good sleep do more than build muscle. They regulate your nervous system. A man who is calm and centered in his own body has a magnetic presence. He's not fidgety, anxious, or constantly seeking validation through frantic movements. He is still, he is grounded. This stillness is incredibly powerful. It's the difference between a chaotic, babbling brook and a deep, steady river. One is just surface-level noise. The other has a powerful, unseen current. So the first step to becoming visible is to stop acting like you're trying to hide. Your body is the billboard for your mindset. Stand tall, make deliberate eye contact, and move with a calm, grounded purpose. This isn't faking it till you make it. It's about embodying the confidence you want to have until it becomes your natural way of being. You have to believe in your own value before anyone else will. Now that we've covered your internal state and how you project it, let's talk about the packaging. So many men here dress better and either dismiss it as shallow or overcomplicated, thinking they need a closet full of designer clothes. Both are wrong. Your style isn't just about clothes. It's nonverbal communication. It's your personal brand. It tells a story about who you are, what you value, and most importantly, how much you respect yourself. Think of your life as a company and you're the CEO. Would you let your company's storefront have a peeling, faded sign and dirty windows? Of course not. Yet, that's exactly what many men do with their appearance. They wear faded, ill-fitting t-shirts, worn-out sneakers, and a haircut that hasn't changed since high school. Their storefront signals mediocrity and a lack of attention to detail. And in a crowded marketplace, mediocrity is invisible. Developing a signature style isn't about chasing fleeting trends. It's about making conscious, intentional choices. Step 1 is the audit. Go through your closet and be ruthless. Is it worn out? Does it fit you right? Does it make you feel confident? If the answer is no, get rid of it. Most guys wear clothes that are at least one size too big, which creates a sloppy, juvenile look. Getting your clothes tailored is one of the cheapest ways to instantly upgrade your appearance. Step 2 is to build a versatile, high-quality core wardrobe. You don't need 100 items. You just need a few key pieces that fit you perfectly and can be mixed and matched. Invest in things that signal maturity and timelessness. A well-fitting pair of dark-wash jeans, quality leather boots, a classic watch, a tailored blazer, and a few crisp, neutral-colored button-downs. These items communicate that you're a man who understands quality and has his life together. You don't need designer labels. You need consistency and authenticity. The third and most important step is to inject your personality. Your style should be an extension of you. Are you a rugged, outdoorsy type? Then incorporate elements like flannel shirts, leather, and work boots. Are you more creative and artistic? Don't be afraid of some color or unique accessories. The goal isn't to wear a costume or pretend to be someone you're not. It's to find where what looks good on you intersects with what feels authentic to you. Women don't want perfect. They want real. And this absolutely extends to grooming. This part is non-negotiable. Get a great haircut from a real barber, not a discount chain. Figure out what to do with your facial hair. Either be clean-shaven or have a well-maintained beard. It's about looking clean, polished, and intentional. It shows you have self-respect. And if you don't respect yourself, you can't expect a woman to. When you put these pieces together, the great fit, the quality basics, the personal touches, and sharp grooming, you create a cohesive look. You become visually coherent. You stand out not because you're peacocking, but because you look like a man who has his act together. You look like a man who puts thought into how he presents himself to the world. And that level of self-respect is incredibly attractive and, most importantly, highly visible. By the way, if you're finding this roadmap useful and you're ready to stop being overlooked, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We go deep on this channel into real, actionable self-improvement, and I want you to be a part of this community of men who are choosing to become the best versions of themselves. This might be the single most important section in this entire video. So many men who feel invisible have made a fundamental, life-altering mistake. They've made finding a woman the central mission of their lives. Their happiness, their self-worth, their entire focus is outsourced to getting validation from a romantic partner. And this creates a powerful, repulsive energy of neediness. A woman can feel when a man's life is empty and he's looking for her to fill it. She feels it when his weekends are wide open, when his only hobby is swiping on apps, and when he's placing the entire weight of his emotional well-being onto her shoulders. I can't tell you how many women in long-term relationships I've worked with whose number one complaint is, his whole life is me. He has no friends, no hobbies, no life outside of us. That isn't romantic. It's suffocating. To become visible and attractive, you have to build a life that you are genuinely in love with, a life where a woman is a wonderful addition, not the entire puzzle. You need to shift from seeking a partner to complete you to seeking a partner to complement you. This starts by cultivating your own purpose and passion. What are you building? What are you learning? What excites you? Ambition is incredibly attractive. This doesn't mean you need to be a CEO or a rock star. It means having goals and actively pursuing them. It could be learning a new language, mastering an instrument, building a side business, getting a promotion, or training for a marathon. A man with a mission is compelling. He has a direction. His life has a narrative, and it's a story a woman wants to learn more about. Passion gives you something to talk about beyond the boring interview questions that plague modern dating. Next, you have to build a strong social life that doesn't revolve around chasing women. A huge mistake men make is neglecting their male friendships. Many guys have few, if any, close male friends they can be vulnerable with or get support from. This creates a vacuum where a woman becomes the sole source of emotional validation, which is way too much pressure for one person. Building a robust social network, a band of brothers, is crucial. Join a men's group, a sports league, a martial arts gym, or a club related to your hobbies. This not only builds emotional resilience, but also demonstrates social proof. A man who is respected and liked by other men is inherently more attractive. It shows he's a valuable member of a tribe. When you have your own purpose and a strong social circle, something magical happens. You stop being needy. You stop double texting because you're actually busy. You stop over-analyzing her every word because your mind is occupied with your own projects. Your availability becomes naturally limited, not as a game, but as a genuine reflection of your full and engaging life. This creates scarcity and mystery, which are cornerstones of attraction. A man who is content and fulfilled on his own projects, an energy of self-sufficiency. He's the chooser, not the chaser. His mindset is, I have an amazing life, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. But if you're not interested, that's okay, because my life is still amazing. This is the polar opposite of the invisible man, whose energy screams, please pick me. I need you to make my life okay. So your mission is to fall in love with your own life. Get busy building, learning, and connecting. Fill your calendar with things that challenge and excite you. Become the protagonist of your own adventure. When you do that, you become a man with stories to tell, confidence in his own skin, and a life so vibrant that others can't help but notice. You've improved your presence, dialed in your style, and you're building an incredible life. Now you're in front of her. The moment of truth. This is where so many men, after doing everything else right, fall flat on their face. They revert to what I call low-status conversation. Their behavior, disguised as being polite, is actually deeply forgettable. What does that sound like? It's the endless boring interview questions. Where are you from? What do you do for work? How was your day? While these aren't bad questions by themselves, when they're the entire conversation, it feels like a job interview. It's a logical exchange of data, not an emotional connection. And women connect through emotion. They want to feel a conversation, not just participate in it. If they can't feel you, they'll forget you. The invisible man plays it safe. He asks mundane questions because he's terrified of saying the wrong thing, of offending her, or of being seen as weird. But safety is the enemy of attraction. Attraction is built on emotional spikes, on humor, on vulnerability, and on a bit of tension. You have to be willing to take some risks. The first key to engage in conversation is to stop being an interrogator and start being a storyteller. Instead of just asking her what she does, share a short, interesting anecdote about your own day and then relate it back to her. For example, instead of, "What do you do?" Try something like, I had the most bizarre day at work. I'm in marketing, and we were trying to come up with a slogan for a new brand of cat food. It's ridiculous. I'm curious, what kind of world do you spend your days in? It's more playful, reveals something about you, and invites her into a more creative conversation. The second key is to listen actively. Active listening isn't just waiting for your turn to talk. It's about truly hearing what she's saying, and more importantly, what's behind what she's saying. Listen for the emotions, values, and passions. If she says she likes to travel, don't just say, "Oh, cool, where have you been?" Dig deeper. Ask, what is it about traveling that you love? Is it the adventure, the food, the people? This shows you're not just checking boxes. You're genuinely curious about how she sees the world. The third and most advanced key is learning how to flirt. Flirting is simply conversation with a playful, romantic tension. It's not about cheesy pickup lines. It's about compliments that are specific and non-physical. Like, you have a really mischievous smile. I bet you cause a lot of trouble. It's about playful teasing. It's about breaking the touch barrier in a respectful, calibrated way, a light touch on the arm to emphasize a point. Flirting is what separates a friendly conversation from a romantic one. It's how you signal your intent without being overly aggressive. It's what makes the interaction memorable and makes her think about you after you've gone. You have to learn to be emotionally available without being emotionally overwhelming. It's a fine line. Women want a man who can express emotion, but they can be turned off if a man shares too much trauma too soon. The key is to share your passions, your joys, and your wins, and to be vulnerable in small, calibrated doses. Share a small struggle or a past challenge, not as a complaint, but as a story of growth. Stop hiding behind your manners. Politeness is invisible. Presence is magnetic. Learn to lead the conversation. Tell stories, listen deeply, and flirt playfully. This is how you create an emotional experience for her. An interaction that stands out from the dozens of other boring, forgettable conversations she's had. This is how you go from being a ghost to being unforgettable. This final fix is the glue that holds everything else together. It's the internal operating system that runs in the background of your presence, your style, your life, and your conversations. It's the fundamental shift from a mindset of chasing to a mindset of attracting. The man who chases operates from a place of scarcity. He believes that beautiful, high-quality women are a rare resource he must pursue, convince, and capture. His energy is frantic. He's always trying to prove himself, to perform, to win her approval. He's the one sending the good morning text to a woman who hasn't replied in 3 days. He's the one who immediately makes himself available the second she shows a flicker of interest. He's auditioning for a role in her life. This behavior screams, "I don't believe I am enough on my own." It's neediness, and neediness is the ultimate attraction killer. The man who attracts, on the other hand, operates from a place of abundance. He believes that he is the prize. This isn't arrogance. It's a quiet, deep-seated self-belief that comes from doing the work we've talked about. He has built a life he's proud of. He presents himself with self-respect. He carries himself with a grounded presence and can create engaging connections. Because his self-worth is internal, he doesn't need her validation to feel whole. He isn't auditioning for her. He is screening her to see if she is a good fit for his life. This is the most powerful mindset shift a man can make. So how do you cultivate this mindset? First, you must change your relationship with rejection. Men who feel invisible often carry deep wounds from past rejections. They see it as a verdict on their worth. You have to reframe rejection. It's not a judgment. It is merely a data point. It's a sign of incompatibility. Not every woman is for you, and you are not for every woman. A man with an abundance mindset understands this. If a woman isn't interested, he doesn't crumble. He thinks, "Okay, she's not the one for me," and calmly moves on, because he knows there are other amazing women out there. He has options because he has built a life that creates options. Second, you must focus on your own standards. The chasing man has only one standard. Does she like me? The attracting man has a list. Is she kind? Is she ambitious? Does she share my values? Does she add to my life? When you have standards, you become the one selecting, not the one trying to be selected. Real confidence isn't found in the number of dates you get. It's found in the standards you keep. Finally, you must be willing to walk away. This is the ultimate test of the abundance mindset. The ability to walk away from a situation that doesn't meet your standards or from a woman who isn't reciprocating your interest is the single greatest display of high value. It signals that your peace and self-respect are more important than any single person's approval. You're not playing games or using tactics. You're simply enforcing your boundaries. When a woman feels that you are completely okay with or without her, it ironically makes her want you more. Your non-neediness becomes a magnetic force. Shifting from chasing to attracting is the culmination of all the other work. It's the quiet confidence that radiates from a man who knows his own worth. He doesn't need to be loud or boastful. His energy just says, I like who I am, whether you swipe right on me or not. I'm good. He leads with presence, not performance. He is not a product on a shelf hoping to be noticed. He is the owner of the store, and that is a man who can never be invisible. So let's bring it all home. For years, you may have felt like a ghost, completely unseen in the dating world. You've been told it's a numbers game, that you just need to be nicer, or that you need more money or better looks. But the truth is, your invisibility was never about a fundamental flaw in who you are. It was about the subconscious signals you were sending. But that ends today. You now have the roadmap. It starts with mastering your presence, owning your space with calm, grounded confidence. It continues with developing a signature style, communicating your value and self-respect without saying a word. Then, you cultivate an engaging life, becoming the protagonist of your own story. So a relationship is a welcome bonus, not a desperate need. You learn to master engaging conversation, creating emotional connections instead of conducting boring interviews. And finally, you tie it all together by shifting your mindset from chasing to attracting, operating from a place of abundance and internal self-worth. This is not a list of tricks to get women. This is a blueprint for becoming a man who values himself, a man who has built a life he is proud of, a man who is so secure in his own skin that his presence is felt the moment he enters a room. When you do this work for yourself, becoming visible to women is no longer the goal. It's the inevitable side effect. You get yourself first, and in doing so, you draw the right people to you. You are not invisible. You just haven't been seeing yourself clearly. Start today. Become the man you were always meant to be. Become visible. And remember, the man you want to be isn't found. He's built. Let's get to work.